Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel where we review anything and everything. And today we are getting into, this is actually a camera that I had purchased off of eBay. It was used. Now, little background history. I am pretty big into photography. I love photography, and I purchased this right here actually. So either one of my boys who are interested in getting into photography can, they'll just end up sharing the camera, but one of them already showed an interest in it, so I got this for him. And the other one, if he wants to get into it as well, he's more than free to use this when his brother's not using it, or I have other cameras they can use. But I just really wanted to get him something used that they can get into, that was decent, that, you know, they would be able to, if anything happens to it and gets banged around, it didn't cost that much money. I paid on this one, I paid after tax about $63. I recently just did an unboxing video of this where I had said that I purchased this for a camera. And this is that camera here. So we're going to get into it. I'm going to say what camera is after I open it, but that's already going to be in the title of the video. So all right. So it is a 40D. So let's see. And I hate this popcorn stuff right here, but I guess it's great for packing. The cleanup process on this is always very annoying though. Matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump some of this first. All right, so I dumped a little bit of it. I didn't want to dump too much just in case, if worst case scenario, it's got to be sent back, but I doubt that'll be the case. I really do pray that it is in the condition that I'm hoping that it is, that it's in good condition. Is anything else inside here? There isn't, so I'm going to have to check to see if it was mentioned about having anything as far as charger or anything like that, because I honestly thought that it said it came with a charger. Okay, I'm actually seeing something inside here, so we'll see. Maybe that is, maybe it isn't. We'll find out in a moment. If it's not, to be honest with you, I don't think it's a big deal. I'm not going to make a big deal about that if that is the case or not. Let's see here. I'm really just hoping that the condition of this is really good. No, these are just clips. So I guess it's just body only. And here we go. Okay. Other than some of the just kind of, you know, the wear on this, it's not even wear. It's just more of just like that kind of decay effect. You know, just in terms of getting that kind of look. There's nothing actually wrong with it. There's no scrapes on it. It looks just like how it did in the photo. There's really no scrapes on it or anything like that. So that is actually pretty cool. Let me just, matter of fact, I'm going to wipe this just down on my shirt real quick. The back screen is a small little scuff on it, but it's not really that bad. If you look right there, you can see that it's really not that bad. Yeah, this is actually pretty cool. Let me just clean up in between here a little bit. Okay. Let's see how this thing looks on the inside. Now, I normally hate when people do this, but I'm just going to do it just to do it real quick. Everything looks good to me. Now, anyone who's into photography knows you always got to have one of these on hand. One of your rocket blowers. I always try to keep it angled downward so that way dust will fall out but won't come back into it. This is actually some enhanced glass thing on the top. So I'm curious to know if this is a replacement or if this is like a cover thing and there's another one underneath it. I don't know, but I'm not going to take it off. But yeah, let's see if it's got a battery. It does. Okay, off-brand battery. But one thing that's interesting about a lot of these older models is that if you have a battery that is not of that brand, it usually won't give you any issues working. While some of the newer ones, newer cameras, if you have a off-brand battery, they'll ask you, is this a Canon battery? And then obviously if you say no, it actually gives you problems rather than just working. And I almost feel like it's done on purpose too, because like I said, a lot of these older cameras used to not have a problem with third-party batteries. Let's see how this goes. Fits on there perfectly. Like I said, that was about $6 for the 2-pack, so really happy about that. This thing had 3 custom modes back in the days. I think it got less with the 50D. I used to actually have the 50D. Let's see, does it even have juice? It does. Let's go into manual really quickly. Do we have a card on hand? We do not. Hold on one second. Hey guys, so I didn't realize that I thought I pressed pause and I was actually recording during the time that I thought I paused the recording and was going to come back and then continue to record. And some of the parts where I thought I was recording, I wasn't. So I did come back with a CF card. It was a 1 gig SanDisk card that I had. And it actually goes for like about 300 photos on this. I always kept that on hand just so I always have a CF card on hand. Here what you see in front of you, I started taking off the little holding pieces because I don't have the rest of it, you know, to actually clip around the neck. Well, I guess it was supposed to be an attachment piece for the neck that the seller didn't include. That's all that they had. So I just wanted to remove that. So that's what you see going on here, even though I didn't know that I was recording when that was happening. And in a few, I'm going to continue with speaking on the lenses that will be used for this. I have 2 lenses and I'll go into detail with it, but those were going to be the lenses that was going to be used for this camera. And I'll break down the depth, the story kind of behind one of them and how I acquired it in relation to an older camera that I had. But yeah, so like I said, the CF card, I always kept that one on hand. It's actually should be good enough to suffice. Like I said, 300 photos. This doesn't do video, so that shouldn't be a problem. So I'm always glad that I always kept that on hand. I used to have that in a CF converter from CF to SD, SD to CF. But yeah, I ended up getting rid of that. But I always kept that one CF card, so I'm glad that I did as well. So here we're gonna jump into those lenses. Okay, so here is that lens. This is the Tamron. Though I bought this lens many years back, and the reason why I bought this lens was because I purchased a 10D, and I would buy used cameras just to give away to family members sometimes. Not the 50D. The 50D I bought it brand new, and I gave it to a close family member at the time because I didn't have a place for it, but I wanted it to get used for family photos. But some of my family members that I don't really see on a regular basis, that I knew some of them wanted to get into photography, or friends maybe, I purchased a 10D. I buy some used camera sometime, bought 20D before this and that. What I didn't know buying the 10D was that it doesn't take EFS lenses, and that one didn't come with a lens. So I had to buy a full frame EF lens, I'm sorry. And the only one that was available was this super cheap. It was like $50. It's a pretty bad lens, but yeah. So I could let my son use that, and I probably will if he needs a zoom, even though I have the 10D. I could have just let him use the 10D, but like the screen is so small, this and that. For $50, this is a steal. And the condition on it, I can't believe. I'm still baffled at how good the condition is on this camera. And I'm sorry for the rambling, that this video is going to be made long. I cannot help myself right now. It's just a really nice deal. And also, one thing, a lesson I learned with the 10D recently, I pulled it out, started using it, was that I played around with this piece here on that. And it was so brittle that piece of it broke off, and I just didn't bother messing around with it anymore. I'm not going to touch this because there's no reason for me to ever touch this. So I'm never going to do it. I don't use any of these kind of ports anyway. I didn't use the video out. I don't use the USB. The trigger part, I have used in the past. I don't think I'll end up using it now for any reason, but I could. I have other cameras that use Wi-Fi now, like a 6D Mark II. The sync port flash, never used flash like that. I had a smaller cheap Canon flash, like one of their very entry level ones before, and I didn't even like using it much. I'm not a flash guy. So for that reason, I'm not even gonna bother to touch that. Now also too, I unboxed these a couple days ago. I always love putting these on my camera. And it's really just to have security without having the whole big loop thing around your neck. I know some people do other different types similar to this to have these little clamps that come off and blah, blah. I just use these. They're cheap, affordable, and they get the job done. I used to have the more skinnier ones, but this is the one that I recently purchased now. And I did an unboxing of. And essentially, all you do is just, when you grab your camera, you're out and about, just throw that around it, and it fits fine. And that way you don't have to worry about it. If it accidentally falls out of your hand, you're good. Let's see. I don't need to have this on me now though, so I'm gonna take this off. Let's just do aperture priority right now, because no point in getting too crazy with things. I'm gonna keep the ISO at 400. I still cannot believe that this is so good. Screen, interesting. I've never seen this screen like this before, because on the XSD you've got color backgrounds for this. But yes, so take off the info. Now I'll just take a little quick snapshot. All right, the points of autofocus are completely off. Let me see. No, what it is they are operating as where you can select it. Okay. And now I'm able to select it was the one where it selects all of them. I gotta adjust the eyepiece. Okay. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 autofocus points. Okay, I'm not. Okay, at first it was giving me almost an issue to snap, but now it's working. It will snap, it will make the beep, and then I press it to actually take the photo, and it doesn't. Sometimes, like I don't know why. Sometimes it's an easy press, and other time it's hard. Okay. So this, just to show you that it works. Yeah, just it works. So that's a good thing. I am really happy with this purchase right now. I'm ecstatic right now, actually, because I'm such into photography. This is actually a really good camera, and the like I said, the it's mint condition. Honestly, this is completely mint condition. Aside from like dust and stuff like that, it really is. Other than that you got that little area right here, which you barely even notice. Other than that, this is pretty much like mint condition. Just some regular aging on it, but not dings and like marks. This is awesome. So sorry for the long video, you guys. Comment down below if you guys are into photography. What system do you use, if you do at all, and just your thoughts. Have you ever come across a good purchase like this where you purchased something and it was used and it was really good? Have you ever purchased something and it came out bad? Let me know, you guys. And as always, like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next video.